What's up, everybody? This your boy Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to go over my top 10 fragrances that I got when I first started collecting. The top 10 fragrances that got me started to collect. And some of these fragrances I have very good memories of. A little bit of interesting stories behind a few of them as well. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So, we're going to start off with this one from the house of Dior. Now, this is like one of my favorite fragrances. It may be a love and hate for you, but it's definitely a love and hate for me as well, if so. But let's just get this one out the way. This is my very first fragrance that I ever bought. So, from the house of Dior, this is Dior Sauvage EDP. Now, I wouldn't say this was my first fragrance that I ever bought, because before I bought this one, I was at Bath and Body Works getting like lotion and, you know, buying like a couple of their scents here and there. And I had an ex-girlfriend that smelled this one on a guy at her job, and she was just infatuated by it, just kept ranting over it. And I didn't know what it was, didn't know the concentrations or anything like that, didn't know anything about fragrances. So she just said Sauvage. What did I do? Went to Macy's and asked for it. She asked me which one did I want. I was like, I don't know, just give me Sauvage. So she gave me the EDP. Let me tell you, when I first smelled this fragrance, I was blown out of my socks when I smelled this. And this was the beginning of an addiction. The beginning of Scent Talk TV. Eventually. But man, I really do. I still love this fragrance, but I hate this fragrance because I smell it all the time on everybody, to the point where it's getting quite annoying. But this fragrance is still dope with that warm vanilla citrusy, like ambroxan beast of a fragrance that this is. That can be very invasive, cloying if you overspray, and you don't even need a lot of sprays with this one. Only thing you need is like I say like 3 or 4 sprays and you good. Even that is kind of overkill depending on your skin chemistry, but I have some great memories with this one because this was my very first fragrance. I can't really hate it too much because Sauvage, you know, that's what got me into collecting. Is this bad boy right here. So I gotta still have some respect for Dior Sauvage EDP. Love this fragrance. Yes, I do. So next, from the house of YSL. Now this one is a story behind this as well, like a short story. But yeah, from the house of YSL, this is YSL EDT. Yes, this one has a massive dent in it because I had this fragrance since 2019. Now, this is a fragrance that I bought. This is my second fragrance that I bought after Dior Sauvage EDP. And I was just with my ex-girlfriend and her sister just out at the mall and just browsing, and I was just looking at some clothes. And I was like, you know what? Let me sniff Dior Sauvage one more time, because I was like in the area of the department store, so I just wanted to sniff a card of it because I didn't have it on, because that fragrance was very, very addictive at that time. So the lady was like, have you tried the YSL? No, I haven't. So she sprayed it on a card. At first sniff, immediately, without a shadow of a doubt, no questions asked, gave her my debit card and say, look, give me this one. This is like my first YSL bottle that I ever bought. 2019 is when I bought it. And I must say, this one has a very, very bright, sparkly, spicy sage type of appeal to this. That's sweet, captivating, in a modern day young gentleman type of a way that will garner you so many compliments. And I'm pretty sure everybody in the fragrance community know how dope this fragrance is, as well as the EDP. So the EDP, that's another story. But this one is what I got after Dior Sauvage. And this has garnered me so many compliments. What are you wearing? You smell so good. If you're looking for compliments as a starter, and like designer wise, this one right here, behind Dior Sauvage, this one right here is a masterpiece of a fragrance, and it is very, very appealing. Very, very appealing. You know, the performance is not that great. You know, you get on my skin was like a good, I'll say like 5 hours max. But they reformulated recently and added a note of vanilla to it to give it a little bit more depth and a little bit more longevity, which did work on my skin, but it's no difference. It's just a little bit more sweeter and creamier than this one. But anyway, I digress. This was my second fragrance that I ever bought, designer-wise, was YSL EDP. So up next we have a fragrance from the house of John Varvatos, and it has a little bit of a small story behind it as well, and I do still dig this fragrance. Just wish it performed a little bit better, just like all the other flankers of John Varvatos. I wish it performed a little bit better, but anyway, from the house of John Varvatos, this is John Varvatos Nick Jonas by John Varvatos. So the story on this, I was at the mall yet again at Macy's, just looking at some some Levi jeans and stuff like that, and one of the vendors of this fragrance house had like these stack of tester strips, and she was just walking around with them, and then she saw me and she said, "Have you tried the new John Varvatos by Nick Jonas?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." So this was the third fragrance that I bought behind the two that I already showed you, and she gave me the tester strip, and I took a sniff, and I was like, wow, I was speechless. And then she just did her finger like, come on. So needless to say, long story short, went to the register, got my bottle, and I bought this in 2019 as well. And from when I looked this fragrance up, and it said that it was launched in 2018. And this fragrance smells phenomenal. It's like aromatic, fresh, spicy, and citrusy, as well as a green, fresh, powdery lavender type of a smell. And it will garner you compliments as well, because I was at my job in 2019. I think it was like September 2019 when I wore this, and I was working, my body heat was amping up, and the longevity on this is a little bit disappointing. But to be bought at full retail, but I didn't know no better. Bought at full retail, did not know any better. But anyway, somebody walked past and caught the sillage of this on me and asked what it was, and then she passionately said, "You smell so good." So even though that you think this fragrance is not performing on you, trust me, it is. You have an outside bubble, and it's pushing out quite nicely, especially if you're working and your body heat is amping up. You will be noticed with this one, and you will get a compliment depending on who you're around and what their taste is. So I got some great fond memories of this one. So John Varvatos by Nick Jonas by John Varvatos, however you want to say it. This fragrance is great. This is my number 3. Okay, so up next we got La Nuit de l'Homme by YSL. This one here, I bought at one of those, those like that buy here, buy now, or it's something like, pay here, get later, or get now, pay later, whatever it is, those websites is online where they have a tremendous amount of interest on fragrances. And me being a newbie, I didn't know any better, and I wanted to get something now. I wanted to get now, because after those 3 fragrances, my addiction of fragrances skyrocketed, and I didn't care what or how I got the fragrance or what fragrance that it was. I just wanted fragrances. And this one was the 4th one that I picked up on their website, and I will never order anything from their website ever again because of how outrageous those prices is for fragrances like this. Not to say that this fragrance right here is slouchy or is a mess. It's a beautiful fragrance. Very, very beautiful fragrance. So yeah, that's the little small story behind that. This one was my number 4. And I did get a compliment on this, and a woman at work said, what is that you're wearing? And when I thought about what I was wearing, and I was thinking about the pronunciation of the fragrance, I could not pronounce it at all. So I was like, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm wearing. So I'm new to fragrances. So I really don't know. It's from East Saint Laurent or something like that. I said something stupid, like, I mispronounced the word, obviously, but yeah, that's a little story on that. But this fragrance here, this fragrance smells phenomenal. Now, these are one of the OGs, head honchos of the fragrance community, as all of you know, but just in case some of you are new and don't know, this one here, if you cannot be a collector and not have this in your collection, because man, this is the head honcho, one of the head honchos of the fragrance community, of the fragrances out there, designer-wise. Star player of the football team is right here. This is an amazing fragrance. Warm, silky, like a silky, creamy type of a fruity, zesty lime that I get out of here. Dry fruitiness with a little bit of a fresh spice that's soft, that's ever so soft. Man, this is an amazing fragrance. If you see this, if you don't have this in your collection, you are missing out big time. Big time. So this is number 4. The number 4 fragrance that I got in my collection, my first 4 fragrances that I got in my collection is by the house of YSL, Yves Saint Laurent, La Nuit de l'Homme. Excuse the fingerprints. So this is another fragrance from that same ridiculous website that I told you I got La Nuit from, that get now, pay later type of a website, which I didn't know any better. But anyway, from the house of Versace, this is, as we all know, what's coming up. Versace Arrows, the EDT. And this one is a 6.7 ounce bottle. And I put a little bit of a dent in it because I wore the crap out of this when I got it back in 2019 because of how addictive smelling that it is. It's very playful. That, that traditional party boy type of a scent that you will get out of here that smells phenomenal. You already know what it is, but to the people that don't know what this is, beast. Like a fresh, minty, fruity vanilla that is playful, that is captivating, and will guarantee give you compliments wherever that you go. Wherever you go, you will get compliments. Now, the story behind this one is the same as La Nuit de l'Homme. Not too much to really tell about it. This is like my 5th fragrance that I got. And just being addicted to fragrances early on in 2019. And I still do dig this fragrance. And this one has a special place in my heart. I was about to sell this on Mercari. And I was like, you know what? I can't sell this because it holds too many memories. This bottle in particular I got in 2019, and I can't sell. It's like nostalgic to me. It has good memories, and it's one of my first fragrances that I ever got, so I can't give this up. Especially since how good it smells, and it's strong. It performs. You're not gonna have any longevity issues, at least not on me. And if you do, overspray, which I highly recommend that you don't, because this one is a beast of a fragrance. You can wear this in a club. You can wear this out with friends. You can wear it anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. It has a high versatility to it. If you wear this in a high heat, it's not going to be cloying, at least in my experience. So, yeah, this one is nice. And if you don't have this one in your collection, you need to pick this up. You can find it at a low price online somewhere, or if you don't care about that, you want to get it full retail, I support that too. So yeah, Versace Arrows at number 5. Okay, up next, coming in at number 6 from the house of Michael Kors. This is Michael Kors Extreme Blue. I really do dig this fragrance. I still do. I bought this at a rack store, and here's the thing. Forgive me, a lot of you are going to judge me for this, and I honestly do not care, because when I was collecting, I was just doing full retail, and I did not know Marshalls Ross, TJ Maxx, and Burlington existed and have fragrance for the Dolo like these. And when I first figured that out, I was watching like, you know, fragrance reviewers and stuff like that, you know, getting tips on what to get next and what to get here and what to get there and discounts and stuff like that. And I forgot who the Fragrant Life. Shout out to you, Keith, because he was talking about like, you know, like cheap fragrances and, you know, going to TJ Maxx, going to Marshalls, going to Ross, getting here, getting there. And when I saw his videos, I was like, I got some stores like that locally in my area, but I never stepped in to check out and see what they got fragrance wise. But when I first walked into, I think, Marshalls for the first time, this is one of the fragrances that I saw. This fragrance is beautiful. It's musky, animalic, not too animalic where it's like, you know, very like turned offish, but it's like herbaceously, like a herbaceous floral scent that's citrusy, soft and fresh, spicy, a little bit of an aromatic type of a citrus that's very, very warm and dry and fresh at the same time. I had a lady friend like I think I got this in like 2020, and she was like, "You smell like an old man." And I was like, "No, I don't. This is amazing smelling. What are you talking about?" It probably wasn't her taste, but I digress. This is a great fragrance. Performance is moderate. You know, you're probably going to have to overspray a little bit with this. You can wear this in the spring. You can wear this in the summertime. It doesn't have a lot of depth and complexity of sweetness to where you can't pull this off in like, you know, the warmer seasons. You know, fall, maybe early fall, definitely not wintertime because it doesn't have that strength to push through the cold. But if you're indoors, this performs quite nicely. So yeah, if you see this, you know, for a good price, I say pick this up at a rack store if you can find it. You know, this is coming in at number 6, and this is like a found memory as well when being introduced to rack stores. This one right here, this is the first fragrance that I ever bought at a rack store right here. Michael Kors Extreme Blue. So up next, you know, this fragrance here is amazing. And this will be worn a lot in this upcoming fall. And this is my second fragrance that I bought at the Marshalls that I was telling you that I got at the Michael Kors fragrance. This is the second rack store purchase that I got from that Marshalls. And a lot of you know it, some of you don't. But I'm here to shed some light to the people who don't know it. But from the house of Calvin Klein, you got CK1 Shock. Not only that this bottle is very, very nice. I love the little graffiti of shock right here in green. But the smell, warm, ambery, and sweet, and it just screams fall in a bottle. And I think as of late, this has been popping up at Burlington, Marshalls, as well as TJ Maxx here and there. And this is a perfect pickup to start you off for the fall if you don't have any fall warm sweet oriented fragrances and you happen to be at TJ Maxx or you happen to be at Marshalls, and you see this for, I think it's like 20, maybe $25, maybe, I'm not sure, but this one in particular I got for 20 bucks way back in like 2020, like late 2020. And I was happy to see this one because a lot of fragrance reviewers back in the day was hyping the crap out of this, and I was like, how do you get these fragrances? I don't understand it. Until I discovered rack stores. And when I discovered rack stores, I didn't know how to act. I was like a fat kid in a cookie store buying up all these fragrances at these rack stores, and this was my second one that I bought. Has a warm, sweet, smoky tobacco note of patchouli mixed in very, very, very well with it, with a note of cardamom, giving it that oriented, dry, spicy sweetness that's very warm and captivating and just screams orange fall leaves. Just screams fall time. I love this fragrance. For the price, it's amazing. However, if you're thinking that you're going to get a beast out of this, you are sadly mistaken, because this has some longevity issues and projection issues. However, let me shed some light on that. If you overspray with this, if you're not too scared to go ham with the atomizer on this, do so if you want extra performance. However, I will highly recommend getting more than one bottle because you will run through this quite fast in terms of overspraying. However, this is still an amazing fragrance. Coming in at number, 7. Coming in at number 7, CK1 Shock for him. Ladies and gentlemen, holla at your boy. Okay, so coming up next at number 8, this is from the house of Hugo Boss. And this fragrance to me, I really did not like due to the performance because I was very, very inexperienced at that time. But now when I smell it and gave it another try again, now that I'm experienced now, I was very, very wrong with my first opinion with this fragrance years ago. But anyway, from the house of Hugo Boss, this is Hugo Boss bottled Tonic. Yet again, this is another fragrance that I bought at that get now, pay later type of a website. And when I looked at this fragrance at that price, now that I look at it and see what price it is now versus then on that website, I'm like, I cheated myself so bad. So bad. Because I have to admit, this was like a good $95, maybe a little bit over $100 plus shipping and tax. So yeah, I bamboozled myself. However, the smell is gorgeous. You get this sparkly, fresh cinnamon that's fruity, just real fruity, like a tart-like fruitiness, a bright fruitiness, and fresh and like gin and tonic type of appeal. Just sparkly, bright, and warm, spicy at the same time with a little bit of a fresh spice as well coming in this fragrance very, very well. Very, very well. And I must say, even though I overpaid with this, I'm glad I got it in my collection. I really do. Because the way that this smells, I just wish it performed a little bit better. But overspraying is not going to hurt anything. But if you can find this at a low price at a rack store, go that route. For retail, no. Especially the route that I took in my early years of collecting. With this one, don't ever go that route, especially with something like this. Not to say the smell is terrible, it smells phenomenal, but the longevity on this fragrance is atrocious. And the amount of money that I paid for this, you are beating yourself in the head. If you do it, it's on you. Hey, it's on you. However, you've been warned, but I digress yet again. Beautiful gin and tonic, fresh, citrusy, fruity, sparkly cinnamon type of a scent. Ladies and gentlemen, Hugo Boss bottled tonic. Holla at your boy, holla at your boy. Well, coming in hot at number 9, this is another flanker of Hugo Boss bottled. This is Hugo Boss bottled Infinite. Now, this one is very, very underrated, and it needs a lot more hype. And I don't know why nobody is hyping the crap out of this fragrance, because this fragrance is amazing. Very, very good. You get this rich, powdery, fruity, like, minty fruitiness. That's amazing. Soft, fresh, spicy with a creamy saddlewood touch to it, giving it that smooth, milky, somewhat of a smooth, milky touch to it. Not too noticeable, but you just get this blue violet-like powdery lavender that has a fruity note and a little bit of fresh spiciness as well in this fragrance. The performance in here is phenomenal. And just like Hugo Boss bottled tonic, I got it from the same website, didn't know. And I think I didn't overpay with this, because the way that this smells, it amounts up to the amount of money that I paid for it, which was a little bit over $100. I don't know if I could have got this a little bit cheaper. I don't shop at Fragrance X. I don't shop at FragranceBuy.ca. I don't shop at Fragrance Net. I don't shop there. So I just find fragrance where I can get it at a good price. And at that time, I didn't know that this was a bad price. It was a little bit too high for this one. But like I said before, when you smell this fragrance, you will be like, yeah, this is worth full retail, because this is a beautiful smelling fragrance. I don't understand why a lot of people is not hyping it up. So at number 9, Hugo Boss Bottle Infinite. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be wearing this for my scent of the day tomorrow, as a matter of fact, because this needs some more wearing. Yes, it does. So last but not least, from the House of Guess, I did a full review on this fragrance not too long ago, and I also bought this fragrance from that buy later get now type of a website, you know, but this was priced pretty nice. It was only $35 that I remember. So looking back when I bought it, you know, it wasn't a bad price. $35, it seems legit. But anyway, from the House of Guess, this is Guess Night. As of right now, at least in my area, there's a few Marshalls and TJ Maxx's that has this fragrance for like, I think like 25 to 30 bucks. And when I tell you, if you see this fragrance and you don't have it, buy it. Please buy it. It has this warm, sweet blue, little bit of a green, rosy floral note, as well as a leather note that's creamy and warm and ambery at the same time. A dark, mysterious, herbaceous, sweet scent in the base of this fragrance that you will get out of this. It is a phenomenal smelling fragrance. Now, according to a subscriber in the comment section of the video of this fragrance that I did a review on, he said that the nose behind this fragrance was Mason Francis Kurkdjian himself. And I can believe that. I can believe that because I didn't research and see who was the nose behind it, but that's legit enough for me because the way that this smells like something that he would make, that he would produce, that he would thought of as far as note wise, because this smells like something that he would make. For a cheapie from the House of Guess, this, woo! If you see this fragrance in a while, I need you to catch it because it needs to be caught if you do not have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Guess Night. Holla at your boy. So, that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you know what to do. And I hope you enjoyed my top 10 fragrance list. Haven't done anything like this before. And I think it's about time I have because I have been doing fragrance reviews quite a bit. So, why not? Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed and have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.